Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Ready? Yes. You have just stepped into the world of chaos. Where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody. Get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
What's happening, my guy?
Yo, what's good, family? How you?
I'm good, brother.
Yeah. It's been a minute, man.
Yeah, man. Long time, brother. Long time.
I know. My man.
Bring the phone down so people can see your face. There you go.
Yeah.
Represent the ball heads, fam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Come on, man. Man, I've been sitting on this thing, man. Like almost 20 years, daddy.
There you go. Same here, man. Same here, brother.
Nah, man.
Yeah, one day my barber didn't show up, and I let the owner cut my hair, and he messed my hair up, and he told me that I can, get whatever haircut I want now, and I didn't have to pay for it. So I told him to cut it all off, because you already messed my hairline up. Went back to school, and it was a wrap after that.
Good, man. You got the dome for it.
What's that? Everything good? How's the family and everybody?
Yeah. And everything's love, man. Just falling back down here in Jersey, man.
Okay. Cool, man.
Yeah, man. Just trying to settle down the house, man. You know what I mean?
Hey, man. We gotta do what we gotta do, man. Look,
we got no question.
Another treat for you, man. My guy last night was inspired, and he came back, and he got a joint for you, man. And you know what I'm saying? Maybe send me your address, and I'll send it out to you, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I appreciate you, man. Nah, I was tuning in, man, last night. I seen the artwork, man. That stuff was vicious, man.
Yeah, man. My boy been doing it for a long time, and he's a fellow baller too. So it all works out.
Yo, you know how we do in NY, man. The list is long and vast, man.
That's right.
It's a brotherhood, man, that a lot of cats don't understand, man. Just what they say is a blessing to be a part of, though, right?
Definitely.
No question.
All right. So what up, Stem? What up, Pat? They just checked in. Yeah. Pat Alphonse in the building.
My
I always
man.
like to start off with this question and ask guys, who introduced you to the game?
Oh man, I mean, first and foremost, man, I gotta go with my pops, man. Rest in peace, man. My dad, my dad played ball at basketball at Powell Memorial.
Okay.
Powell Memorial High School, man. So that tradition over there, man.
That's right.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, Lou Alcindor, and of course, Lenny Elmore, to name a few.
That's right.
So,
legend.
Yeah, no question. So my dad was there. Matter of fact, I think when my dad was a freshman, Lou Alcindor was upperclassman, and then as my dad moved on, Lenny Elmore came in.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So my pops was from Bronx River Projects.
So, okay.
I'm from the BX, man. Gotta represent always.
Hey, listen, you the first guy. Actually, you're the second guy from the BX because we have Malloy Naismith, and I thought he was from Harlem, and he told me he's actually from the Bronx.
Yes, no question. Yeah, Malloy over there from like Monroe over there.
Yeah.
That's my man. That's family. Yeah, good
for
people,
sure,
man.
For sure.
He a legend for sure.
That's right.
Yeah. So day one, man. Foundation. My pops, man. Started going hard when I was like 10 years old in the 5th grade.
Right.
And then from there, man, like they said, the rest is history, man. But you don't have enough time on this live feed, man, for me to go on as far as the inspiration, man, and all the cats that I played against that really helped me to be,
we gonna get there. We gonna get there and try to get it, in a nutshell.
No
so
question.
and all right. So
yeah.
Was your pops your first coach as well?
No, just in the playground, really, man. Just on the blacktop, in the park. Working on them fundamentals, left hand, free throws, passing.
Right.
Working on the athleticism. I grew up in Parkchester, man. So 12-story buildings, walking them steps, riding them bike. You know what it is, G.
Listen, man, we always said when we were younger, it was something about those guys from uptown with these hills, because it seemed like all these guys got hops and very athletic.
Well, look, man,
honestly.
No, seriously. And as we get into this discussion, man, I'm gonna drop some names, some cats that you probably rock with. Matter of fact, I know you rock with that definitely some Skywalkers for sure. For sure.
So who was your first coach?
So my first coach, it's funny, man. So I played at St. Helena's in the Bronx. So, in Parkchester, you had a couple grammar schools. You had St. Helena's, you had St. Raymond's Grammar School. So I started there, tried out for the team when I was in the 5th grade.
Right.
And it's funny, man, because, back then, man, it wasn't, you either was on the team or you wasn't. There wasn't no B team, C team like there is in this generation.
Right,
so, obviously, man, there was a lot of angst, when you went to try out, because you didn't know how it was going to work out. So I remember trying out in 5th grade for the JV team at St. Helena's. And, the next morning they said they was posting, the roster. So, you can't sleep that night, man. You sitting, you tossing and turning, looking forward. And, lo and behold, man, I got up in there and saw my name on the list, man. So that was in the 5th grade. So I played JV 5th and 6th grade at St. Helena's. And then 8th grade varsity, I played for Gary DeCesar. So you know that name. So Gary DeCesar
definitely.
is a legend in his own right, man. I love him to death.
Yeah.
I was blessed to play for him, not just in grammar school, but also when I got to St. Raymond's, he was my basketball coach at St. Raymond's. So Gary family, man, and like I said, the legend continues to grow, man. People know his impact on just countless brothers, man. Not just in St. Raymond's, man, but just basketball players in general in New York City. Had a huge impact on my life, both personally as well as on my basketball career, both high school as well as college.
That's funny that you say that, because I get that from a lot of guys. Some didn't have too much of a good rapport with their coach, but when you have a good coach, that's they play their part in the personal and on the court.
Yeah, no question. I mean, listen, man, it's hard to make everybody happy, right? So everybody's experience is just that. It's their experience, But, I'm happy to say that, Gary was right by me. He brought out the best in me. And I certainly, when you start talking about those foundational people, those people that had a huge impact and influence on what you did subsequent to high school, he's certainly one of the people that was responsible,
And that was your first real coach. That was the one who had the most impact.
Oh yeah, no question. Because like I said, that's when you start talking about elementary school, I mean, it doesn't get more foundation than that. Obviously I cited my pop. He was day one. He gave me the foundation. And then, obviously, as you branch out, you play for different people. As long as you have that foundation, then certainly, you can make sure that your talents are conducive to the teaching. Because everybody got different philosophies, different styles on how they go about teaching the game of basketball. But I just think that it's the foundation that stands the test of time, really.
Definitely. So who was the best player in your neighborhood coming up?
Oh man, I got to start. So I told you about them guys that, it's funny, man. We talk about them Skywalkers, right? So I'm going to drop a name, my OG. Shout out to the big bro, Gary Massey, man.
Gary Massey, definitely played against him. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, G Mass, man. It's funny, man, because when I got to St. Raymond's was really a baseball power at the time. ironically.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You know, when we hear St. Raymond's now in New York City, you know, certainly you look at the championship, the city championship, the state championships, you look at the myriad of Division I players, and just overall talent that has come out of that school. It's impressive. But when we start talking about pioneers, G. Massey set it off, man. You know, G. Massey definitely set it off in the mid-'80s, man. And then, you know, we just rode his coattails and just, you know, took that momentum. And then, you know, I'm humbled and honored to just say that I was just a part of the process, man, in the foundational stage, you know?
Listen, man, from what I've been reading and from what I know, you played a major part, man.
Yeah,
definitely.
I appreciate
definitely
you, man.
want to
Thank
salute to you, brother. Definitely.
Nah.
So
Thank you, brother.
Thank
you, man.
G-Mass gets the best player in the neighborhood award. That's real, man.
Yeah,
That's
no
real.
question. And trust and believe, man. We had some ballers, man. Like I said, you know, Parkchester, man. There's a lot of cats. You know, a lot of cats that might not have gotten that ink, but they pushed me to the limit out there on that blacktop. Because, you know, I mean, listen, man, you know how it is, man. You get on that blacktop, you know, newspapers, it don't matter, right? You know,
Right.
all that matters is who got next.
That's
know?
right.
And you know, some guys, they just got that day, they get the best of you. But that's what it's about, man, right? I mean, that's what makes us hungry. That makes us coming back for more. It's just knowing that you got to be vigilant out there in the park, man. You know, you can't
Or
take
you won't play.
Life. Nah,
or you
man.
won't play.
Nah. You know, like, you know, I tell my children, man, just about what this generation is missing out on is when we played in the park, not only did you play to stay on the court, but in case you lost, you was really auditioning for the cats who had next.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
And you learn from the older guys, right? You kind of learn from the older guys. We didn't have trainers and all these things. You kind of learn and you develop your game from the older guys. So you kind of mix what you had as a youngster with kind of the older veteran shit that was out there. That kind of made you a heady ball player.
Yeah, no question, man. And then the OGs, if they let you out there, they say, listen, young fella, you know, if you get the ball, you better make your layups. If you get it.
Right.
Turn the ball over. You know what I mean?
Got to play defense. Got to rebound.
No question.
It wasn't just going out there chucking up shots.
Nah, man. You was lucky. If you was a young bull, you was lucky to get a couple attempts, man, at the basket. You know?
Right.
But that's all right because, I mean, listen, man, you know, you got to pay it forward, right?
Yeah. So when you was coming up, what was it like the summer league tournament that you got your name? Or was it when you went to high school? Which one was it?
Nah, I would say when I tried out for the Gauchos. So I was like 13 going on 14. So that's when my pop was like, look, man, you know, it's all well and good, doing well in the neighborhood, and certainly we had more than enough talent in Parkchester. But, you know, my dad was big on, you know, changing your environment, making sure, because, you know, I mean, listen, man, the boroughs in NY, there's a line around the corner, a cast that got game, right?
Definitely.
And my dad was big on, listen, man, you got to lead the neighborhood, man. So he took me down to Harlem to try out for the Gauchos. And at this time, this is when the Gauchos was like over on 135th and 5th Avenue. Like a very small, I don't know if you remember, but, you know, everything was ran out of a very small public school in Harlem.
Right.
And I remember my dad dropping me off for tryouts. It's funny, when you look at tryouts in this generation, you got parents, grandparents sitting in the stands watching the kid try out. There wasn't enough space for parents to fit into the building, man, back then, man. So you
my
know,
boy
your parents had to wait outside.
He just said it. He just said it.
Yeah. My pops didn't really know how I did until I came out of the building. Was like, yo, I made the team. But, you know, back then, man, you had to scrap to make that team. And they used to line you up against the wall the way they did with Gauchos. I remember Dave McCollin. I played for Dave McCollin. Shout out to Dave, man, another legend.
Definitely.
Person.
New York City legend. Definitely.
Yeah, man. Dave coached me back then. And again, you know, we start talking about a village. You know, all the people that played a part. Definitely, he's in that tree for me, for sure. You know? But yeah, man, they lined you up on the wall, made cuts. Before you knew it, there was about maybe 10, 12 guys in the middle at half court. Everybody else was on the wall, and they're like, "Hey, thanks for coming out. We'll see you next year." Simple as that. You know.
So what game was it during that time that you was playing on the Gauchos that that people started to know your name, like you started to get your name out there? What game was that?
Oh man, I think it might have been like Boys of Yesteryear, man, when we played against like Riverside Church. You know.
Okay.
So most of my career was with the Gauchos. However, in the latter part of my high school career, I migrated over to Riverside Church, which was fantastic. I got a lot of my close brothers out there that I played with over there. Shout out to my man Pat Alphonse, my man Garfield Smith,
Salute
Malik
Garfield.
Philly, Kenny Anderson, Gordon Winchester. I mean, the list goes on and on, man. And I love y'all if I forgot your name, but went on a couple trips with them cats. But like I said, going back to the Gauchos, I would say probably playing in Boys of Yesteryear, playing against Riverside Church, playing against my man, shout out Kenny Anderson, people like that. That's when people started, I guess, finding out about who I was, the neighborhood I came from. And then before you know it, you know how it is, man. Citywide, LaGuardia House, Millbank, I mean,
those are all classic tournaments, man.
Brandeis. I mean,
definitely.
We can talk all night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you try, you're going into your high school years, right? And you leave in junior high school. What made you go to St. Ray's?
So it's funny, man. So obviously St. Raymond's was in my neighborhood. It was right there.
Okay.
So, I went to St. Helena's. St. Helena's was, a nice, comfortable 10-minute walk from my building to the school. And St. Raymond's was actually even closer. So that was like a given. I think back then when you were taking your entrance exams for high school, you had to put like 3 schools down. So, I had them. Powell Memorial, I was considering. And then, as you know, they subsequently ended up closing, right?
Right.
And then I had like Mount St. Michael, which is another great program, great plays, great pedigree, But I think I got some good pressure from Gary DeCesar, who, like I said, coached me when I was in junior high. Right. And then Father Dervin, another mentor of mine, who was the priest at St. Helena's, very instrumental in my development back there, just as far as just making sure that he reinforced the balance of academics and athletics, both of which my parents, really impressed upon myself and my brother. Matter of fact, shout out to my little bro, Rasan. My brother played at St. Raymond's, and he played at UM Maine, University of Maine. Yep. So shout out to the little bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, man. But so I eventually decided to stay home, stay local, and take my talents, as they say, over to St. Raymond's, man. And you know what?
Right.
No regrets, man. Had a wonderful institution, all boys school, memorable times, some invaluable friendships with some fantastic brothers over there, man.
That's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah,
so
man.
Did you play freshman?
So I got moved up my freshman year. I played JV. So play JV, and
how did that happen?
Man,
No. Tell me how that happened, bro.
So, again, man, if you played varsity as a freshman back there, you were definitely an outlier. I mean, that was very rare,
Facts.
And if you didn't, it really wasn't an indictment of you being ready or not being ready. It was just more so you had to wait your turn,
Right.
And certainly I had a goal of mine to play varsity as a freshman because, like I said, my big bro Gary Massey was there, and that was, that was inspiring for me to get a chance to play with him my freshman year. But it didn't materialize like that. So nonetheless, played JV, did very well as a freshman on JV. Played for Ron Patnash, R.I.P. Ron Patnash again, another one of my mentors. And then did very, very well. And then had myself poised to be ready to play varsity as a sophomore.
That's good, man. That's good. Because most guys, they start up on a freshman, they get stuck there. Not saying that's a bad thing, but
right.
you know, those who move up are very special.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, no
that's
question.
Cool.
No question. But, you know, obviously, man, like I said, we spoke about being vigilant, right? So, you know, the vigilance that you show when you're playing out in the park, in the playground, is the same thing that you got to take with yourself at the high school ranks, right? You got to stay humble and hungry, as they say. So, you know, thankfully, I was ready and, you know, had some great older brothers of mine that I played with there at St. Raymond's that kind of showed me the ropes. So that by the time I was a junior, I was ready to really, you know, be an asset on that varsity team for Gary DeCaesar's crew. And we had a crew, man. We had a crew. You know, I definitely got to shout out my bros. My man Darryl Reed I played with at St. Raymond's.
Darryl Reed,
definitely
played against him. Yes.
D Reed was a beloved teammate and brother. Shout out to my other brothers, man. Eddie Munyo Rivera. You know, might remember Eddie, man. Eddie played at UTEP, man. Phenomenal, played for the Puerto Rican national team in the Olympics. Another one of my brothers, and my man Chuck Martin, who actually is assistant coach for Frank Martin at South Carolina. Big ups, Chuck.
Okay.
So we had like a quartet my junior year, and certainly had some phenomenal teammates that really catapulted us into a fantastic season that year, man.
How do y'all do that? How do y'all do that season?
So I tell you, man, this is actually painful to go down memory lane. So we played Talentine for the Archdiocese Championship. Never forget, it was Saturday night at Mount St. Michael. Standing room only, man. And at the time, Talentine, I mean, we know their tradition, their history, man. You know, they were stacked. You know, had my brother Malik Silly, R.I.P., another beautiful brother. He was on the team. Red Archery, shout out Red. My man Brian Reese was on that team. Ken Beverly, Corey Allen, like they were stacked. You know, they had a great head coach, John Sarandria, and wonderful role players that, you know, if they weren't there, they'd probably be starters at other high schools, man. So we were definitely the underdogs. We definitely, without a doubt, were the underdogs going into that game. And I like to say we shocked the world that night, man. We beat them. We upset them in overtime that night, man. Yeah. So I like to think that night, the city, New York City, realized that St. Raymond's was for real, and this program was going to be part of the fabric of New York City basketball moving forward, man, without a doubt.
And that was the foundation of it. That was your first, that was the city championship?
Yeah, that was a huge win for us as players, and certainly for the program, without a doubt. That was certainly a signature win.
And that was your junior year?
That was my junior year, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah.
So how did y'all do when y'all moved on?
So it's funny, man. So we were the favorites to face Archbishop Malloy that year for the city title. And like I just told you a few minutes ago, this gets painful to go down memory lane because we actually got upset at Fordham University in the city playoffs by McClancy.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah. They caught us. Whew. It was bad, man. It was bad because you couldn't have tell us. We were riding high off of that huge win, that upset win over Talentine. Our confidence was high. And, you know, the stars were aligned for McClancy that night, man. Shout out Marlon Miller with McClancy, my man Russell Williams.
The game with Talentine, that was the semifinals.
No, that was for the seeding for the city. So that was the Archdiocese.
Got you,
back then, you know, Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens.
Right.
And then, you know, then you reseed. Yup.
Who did McClancy have that gave y'all so much trouble?
Well, I said they had Marlon Miller, man. Marlon Miller. Big fella.
Definitely. I know
and my man Russell Williams, man.
I played with
Russell
him.
Williams was nice too, man. Played at Manhattan College.
I played with both of them on the Rebels team.
Yeah.
I played with Marlon, and yes, those guys was good. Yes. I definitely remember that year. I definitely remember them winning it that year. I definitely remember. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So that was tough. That was a tough pill to swallow, man. You know, because I really thought And that would have been fantastic, for us to get an opportunity. Obviously, we know what Archbishop Malloy was doing back then.
Right.
And I think that would have been a great matchup. And I think, sadly, we'll never know what would have happened. But that was a tough loss, getting upset by McClancy.
Okay. So now you go into your junior summer.
Yup.
You kind of pissed off, got a chip on your shoulder.
No question.
And was it your junior year that you went out to the Boston Shootout?
So that was actually my senior year. So let's back up. So
all right, cool. Salute to my dude Joe from Massachusetts who pulled up that one for me.
Yeah, no question. I seen him. He went in the archives on that one.
Right.
Like, wow, where you find this at, bro?
All right, so let's not go there. Let's not go there yet.
Yeah. So let's go that summer. So that summer, I would have to say, like you try to tell the young people, in your progression, you just want to continue to take steps in the right direction, right?
Right.
I mean, if you want to take a leap, we'll take it, but just keep on getting better, staying humble, staying hungry, keep on getting better, and proceed in the process. And I would have to say that was the hallmark of my story. Going from my sophomore year to my junior, and then we go into the summer. So the summertime, I couldn't have had a better summer. Going from my junior year to my senior year. Shout out, rest in peace, Howard Garfinkel. But I was privileged to go to 5-star basketball camp. Had a great week. Ended up making the Orange White Classic at Holmesdale, Pennsylvania that summer, and then. Back that up with the Empire State's gold medal that I was able to be a part of, that team right there. So, and we had a crew. So, obviously, my man Kay Anderson was a teammate of mine on the Empire State Games team.
I remember that team. I was in the open team.
Yeah, we were stacked. Yeah, so check this out. So that was 87.
Yes. I was in the open team.
Had my guy Tiny Morton. Shout out my man Tiny.
Facts. Y'all had a crew. Y'all had a crew of guards, of crazy guards. Yes.
We had my man Daryl Mims. Shout out D Mims.
Yes.
Come on, man. And then Demetrius Dudley from Cardinal Hayes.
Was it that Kenny got dropped 50 that summer, right?
No. So check. Don't steal my thunder. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get to that.
All right. I remember I remember one summer. I was in the open team.
Yeah.
But anyway,
like he might have dropped the nickel, but he gave. We're gonna get to the Boston Shootout because he gave out a nickel up there too when we was up there.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So now you doing your thing. Who asked did you bust that summer of your junior year to let you know? Listen, I know about Kenny Anderson, them guys, but I have arrived.
Yeah,
and
man.
Let's not be shy, my brother, because you put up buckets.
Man, I would say at Holmesdale, I was going in up there like Chris Smith from UConn was up there that week. My man Walt Williams, shout out the Wizard, University of Maryland. Yeah. Actually, he was my teammate in the Orange White Classic up there. Chucky Sproilin was up there, played at St. John's that week.
Right.
So we had a nice lineup, but I would say. I had like 29 in the semifinal game up at the semifinals up at Empire State Games, and then I had 33 in the gold medal game against Jason Buchanan that played at St. John's when we won the chip. Yeah.
So he the one that got that work.
No question.
That 33.
No question.
Who got that 33?
Plus, real rap, man, I was a little salty, man, because, Jason was good, man. But, Jason was way up there, upstate New York. And, as a youngster, man, St. John's was a school that I always envisioned wanting to go play. And once I found out that St. John's was, like very heavy involved with him, recruiting him, I kind of took offense to that, man. So I had to kind of send a message in that championship game, man. Let them know they was bypassing the Bronx kid, man, for some cat from upstate New York.
As you should.
No question.
Because we here in the boroughs, we take that personal.
Yeah.
You see a guy who's been recruited, and you could bust his ass. You're like, okay, I'm gonna give him this work.
Yeah, I wanted Luke Carnesecca to read that newspaper on that one, man.
Okay, okay.
So I would definitely say that was a culmination, and then came back and got ready for Golden Hoops, man. As soon as I got back from the gold medal game, man. Yep.
Golden Hoops, who's in your team, man? During Golden Hoops.
Oh man.
And for you guys who don't know, Golden Hoops, a classic tournament that was in New York City. They don't have it no more, but some of the best players that ever played in New York City played in that tournament.
Yeah, man. And not to
And
mention
it was sponsored by the Daily News. That's when they used to follow and cover high school basketball.
Yup. And we can't forget the Wheelchair Classic too. That was vicious.
Facts.
That was vicious. I still got my jacket upstairs too, man.
That's right. So who was in your team on Golden Hoops?
So it was basically, I played for Gauchos in Golden Hoops.
Okay.
So I'll be like my man Ron Arnold. Shout out Big Ron. Ron played Rice, legend. Played at St. Francis in Brooklyn. Cornelius Muller from Zavarian.
Yes.
My man Andre McCullough.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, to name a few, man. So Harlem Week, man. That was always special, man, with the Golden Hoops, man.
How did you do?
We lost, man. Actually, I think we lost. I think we might have lost to the church, to Malik and them, I think, man. If I don't,
they was winning a lot back then.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, man. You couldn't look. It didn't take you too much effort, man, to find talent, man. These teams were stacked, man.
That's right. And it was, I guess, you get a little bragging rights when you win, but just to be selected and playing in those games, you already got a good look.
Yeah, no question, man. And you get ready for the next battle,
Right. So now your senior year is coming up.
Yeah.
What you thinking about? What is the process like?
Oh man,
you put in the work in all those tournaments, right? So what's the process like now?
Yeah. So all the colleges, they calling. I might have had around 20 D1 offers, sprinkled from different conferences. Blessed to have had that opportunity. So I'll fast forward. When I started narrowing down, I started doing visits at my house, with my family. These are kind of some of the schools that I was very serious about. And then coach the season, I would meet with some schools at St. Raymond's and trying to sift through. And, I really helped myself that summer, as far as what I did at the right time. So when I narrowed down the schools, like my 5, because, you get 5 official visits.
Right,
so I had West Virginia with Gail Catlett. Ron Brown was recruiting me hard there. So West Virginia was my top 5. Had Northeastern, Carl Fogel there. Rhode Island with Tom Penders and Al Skinner, right?
Yeah.
James Madison, and this is when Lefty Drizel, right after he left Maryland. Then he went to James Madison, and then I would say, with all due respect, the one outlier was Manhattan College. So a lot of most people don't know that I actually signed with Manhattan College my letter of intent during the early signing period in November of my senior year. So, back then, you didn't have a lot of latitude to get out of your letter of intent as you do right now, in this day and age with the NCAA. Things a little bit more flexible. You could be nimble, and if the coach leaves, the NCAA is a little bit more understanding for circumstances that are beyond the player's control.
Right.
But back then, the letter of intent, they had all of the schools, the Division I schools by conference at the bottom, and that let you know exactly who participated within the letter of intent. Every school, Division I school, did not participate with the letter of intent. So make a long story short, Manhattan College, I knew in my heart that I wanted to go away for college. I wanted to get out of the hood, get out of the city. My parents really tried to impress upon me that it's a big world out there, take advantage of this opportunity, and really strive to look for something where you could develop both, academically and athletically out of New York City. So that's why, some of them other schools that I mentioned were appealing to me. Manhattan College, you could say they had the inside track because Bob Delabove was the head coach of Manhattan at the time.
Right.
And he was also a gentleman who was the former coach at St. Raymond's. So he was actually Gary Massey's varsity coach at St. Raymond's.
Right.
So he's a gentleman that knew me for a very long time. Again, I was a neighborhood guy. I grew up right in the neighborhood of St. Raymond's. So he knew me. He knew my family. And that summer when he saw my stock rising, he was saying to me, listen, I'm going to re-recruit you. I'm going to be recruiting you. And I was kind of like, you know, kind of shoo him off a little bit respectfully. I mean, he was family, but I was like, you know, I'm leaving. You know, I'm going out of, I'm not staying home. I'm going out of town. So make a long story short, you know, Billy Wheeler, my guy Billy Wheeler that played at Manhattan College.
Definitely.
One of Bishop Loughlin's finest.
Facts. The Wheeler brothers.
Yeah, no question. So B-Dub, so B-Dub, you know, him and Greg Rock, you know, rest in peace, Greg Rock and Ed Lawson and them cats up there in Manhattan.
Right.
Man, they used to be calling me round the clock, man. Round the clock. Actually, when I went up to Manhattan, that was the first official visit. So I had all my visits all lined up, and I took the Manhattan one first. Man, them cats rolled out the red carpet for me, man. And then before you know it, I started having second thoughts about, wow, you know, maybe it would be nice to kind of stay home and play in my backyard. And then when I started, you know, listening to them about the visions that they had for the school, so back then Manhattan was in the MAC conference. So at the time, the MAC conference, like LaSalle, and you had Lionel Simmons at LaSalle, and, you know, Lionel Simmons scored 3,000 points in college, man. So he brought a lot of notoriety to that conference. And I started thinking about the timing being good, and, you know, Delabove was kind of promising me that they were going to be playing a lot of games in Madison Square Garden, and, you know, it started to be, the appeal started looking good where, you know what, if I can come here at the ground floor and kind of be a big fish in a small pond and be part of this turnaround, it could pay dividends. You know, I mean, obviously, first and foremost, Manhattan College is a stellar academic institution. So I knew I was checking that box first and foremost. But then when you look subsequent to that, I was looking at all the athletic opportunities and all the alumni stuff. So when I started thinking long and hard, I kind of shocked the world, man, and ended up canceling all my visits and committed early, man, to Manhattan. Yeah. So, you know, a lot of people, you know, a lot of colleges, they knew that the only reason I was going to Manhattan College, because I had bigger schools that were recruiting me, but they knew that my relationship with Delabove was the primary reason on why I opted to take a chance on them, you know? So I ended up signing early. I had a great all-city year at St. Raymond's, you know, because a lot of times when you sign early, you get to relax.
Yes.
And then you get a chance, you know, once that ink is dry, brother, now you get a chance to just go out there, enjoy your senior year, and just play ball, you know? And play ball is what I did. I had a great year. The team had a great year. And then fast forward, I'm in I go to a AAU tournament, Riverside Church. So I'm out there, out in Houston, Texas. It's like Garfield Smith, Pat Alphonse, Jerome Holmes, rest in peace, my man from Talentine, Carlos Easterling, Corey Allen, my man Keith Stroud, big shout out my guy Keith Stroud. We all out there.
Yes, definitely.
And we end up winning the tournament out in Houston. So we fly back to LaGuardia Airport, and then when I get to the, you know, when we land, I grab a New York Post, and on the back of the paper, it said Delabove resigns from Manhattan.
Wow.
Exactly.
What? And I guess that what was going through your mind right then.
I'm like, wait a minute. Now this is April. Like, I'm about to graduate in like less than 2 months.
Right.
So I'm like, well, hold up for a second, man. This is crazy. So obviously, you know, I was in shock. I was disappointed. Felt betrayed until I learned more about, you know, why he did what he did, you know, and he was getting pressure from the president. You know, they didn't have the greatest year, and, you know, they were going to fire him, so he ended up resigning. And he felt horrible because, you know, because I was like his prize recruit, and he knew I was taking a chance.
Right.
So now obviously I'm in a pickle here because I already signed a letter of intent last November, right? So Gary DeCesar, you in the NCA, and you're trying to see exactly what recourse I had. You know, what were my options? So basically, the way it worked out was that I was going to have to sit out a year. Still had to get released from my letter of intent, but I was going to have to sit out a year if I would have went to any school that was part of letter of intent. So everybody started, which was unfair to me because I did nothing wrong, right?
It wasn't in your control.
Yeah, man, and it wasn't like I started matriculating at the school and nothing. I'm still a senior in high school.
Right.
So fast forward, everybody's calling me, even the schools, Rhode Island, Northeastern, and West Virginia. They're like, look, the scholarship is still here for you, but you might have to sit out a year. And I'm like, do I really want to go somewhere where I'm only going to have 3 years of eligibility when I did nothing wrong, right?
Right.
So there were some schools, and this is where Drexel comes in. So Drexel was recruiting me heavy since like my junior year. Jay Wright, Villanova head coach. So a lot of people don't know Jay Wright was the assistant coach at Drexel way before he even went to, take on this legendary coaching career at Villanova.
Right.
So I knew Jay, and Drexel gets back in the picture. So Manhattan College is still communicating with me because they're like, look, we still want you. All right. We know Delaware was, one of the reasons you was coming here, but, we still want you to be a part. Just be patient. Let us name a coach before you make any quick decisions. And to be honest with you, emotionally, I was just removed from that. I felt like this was somebody telling me, you know what, I should have went with my first hunch, which was to, matriculate out of town to another city and pursue my academic and athletic career. So as Manhattan's working, the president's calling me, they're trying to make sure that they stay in communication with me and make sure that I'm being patient. I go down and visit Drexel because come to find out, Drexel did not participate with the letter of intent. So I would not have to sit out if I would have ended up going there.
Right.
So Gary DeCesar said to me, he said, listen, it don't hurt to go down there and visit. They wanted you badly from day one. So why don't you just go out there while we sort through all of the other politics with the NCAA? So PS went down. I think it was their banquet, the basketball banquet for Drexel that weekend. And they couldn't have treated me any better. It was a similar situation from a playing time standpoint, whereas if I went in there and did what I needed to do, I was going to have a great opportunity to start as a freshman, that's all you want, right? I mean, I don't need no promises. I don't need no promises, but if I know that if I do my part, that I could possibly be poised to come in right away and be part of that nucleus, I was going to pass up on that, So Manhattan College ends up naming the coach as Steve Lapis. Steve Lapis.
Yes.
So this is the whole connection. Steve Lapis leaves Villanova to take the head coach job at Manhattan. So now Jay Wright leaves Drexel to take Steve Lapis's position at Villanova. And becomes
he wasn't at Hofstra first? He didn't go to Hofstra first?
Nah. That was some years after that. Yeah.
So he left Hofstra to go to Drexel?
No. He was at Drexel. Went to Nova to replace Steve Lapis. Then
as an assistant coach.
Then went with Rolly Massimino out to UNLV.
Got you.
UNLV, Jay's first job was the Hofstra job. That's his first head coaching job. And then when he blew up there, then that's when he came back to Nova. The rest is history for him. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. So it's funny how it worked out, man. So no regrets. I was able to come in right away. Had a great career at Drexel. Started off 4 years. Felt like I was able to make my mark. Certainly we didn't win as much as, I planned on. I was hoping I can get at least a couple of NCAA berths while I was there. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, man. Didn't get a chance to make to the big dance. But nonetheless, man, I had an opportunity to get a fantastic education from a wonderful institution and have a basketball career that I'm proud about.
Listen, man, you're 14th in career 3-point field goals made. You're number 8th on the all-time leading scorers list. You're number 7th on all-time career field goals. 9th all-time in career free throws. 5th in all-time career three-pointers. This is crazy, bro. That's when you go in and you make your mark on the school. And this is why you're in the Basketball Hall of Fame in Drexel and in the Basketball Hall of Fame in St. Ray's. And you went to programs that you helped build the foundation for. So that's very key too. It shows that you can start, from the bottom and build something and be a part of something that turns out to be great in the long run.
Nah, man. I appreciate that, family, and like I said, man, it's been a humbling journey, a rewarding one, and most importantly, this basketball thing. Once the ball stops bouncing, as you can attest to,
that's right.
You're left with the brotherhood, right? The fraternity, right. And that's what stands the test of time, right? That's I like to say that's the gift that keeps on giving, right?
Yes.
So I can come in here and you and I would have some great dialogue, and just hear the stories, man, because that's what sustains us is the stories, the memories,
So in all of your basketball experience and knowledge and games that you played, give me something that you saw, like a move that you seen somebody do or that you did that you still remember to this day and is fresh in your mind.
A move that I did?
Yeah, or that you saw.
Man, I don't even know we got enough time for that, man, because listen, we've been blessed to see so much, man,
Just give me one that sticks out of your head.
It could be anybody.
Anybody. Whether they got a name or not.
Well,
See,
I'm
gonna
keep it simple. This ain't gonna be a shocker because this move is pretty much commercial, man. It's been in everybody's living room. But my brother K.A., man. I mean, we all remember the move on Bobby Hurley, man, at Georgia Tech.
Right.
Through the legs, behind the back, through the legs, and that's something I've seen up close and personal because I played with Kenny and I played against him.
Right.
And the one thing I can always remember about Kenny was, if Kenny wanted to give you that rucker flow, he could, but he never did it on purpose. His moves was pretty much reactionary. It was just read and react.
Right.
And he just did it in a very fluid way. It was almost like Michelangelo, man, with a brush, man. It was very innate, very organic. So I would have to say, and I'm certainly missing out on countless others, but that's one that's kind of in the fabric of my mind, man.
All right, so since we're on Kenny Anderson, let's talk about that Boston shootout story because we didn't really get to go on that.
Oh man.
What happened out there that you have to become the second leading scorer out there out of all those guys that was out there playing?
Yeah, well, had my man Lee Green, man, rest in peace. Hold on here. My guy
Lee Green, what up?
Yeah, Lee Green, R.I.P., man,
Yes, respect.
Yeah. We played L.A. game 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they had Derek Martin, Tracy Murray, to name a few, on that team.
Right.
Hold on, let me get the lighting here. And Kenny dropped a nickel in that game, man. K.A. dropped a straight nickel.
Wow.
Yeah, it was vicious. It was vicious.
So what did you do that you became the second leading scorer in the whole joint?
Man, I was just trying to, ride shotgun right there, fam. Listen, man, Kenny will find you the ball, man. Listen, we played up there in the Boston Garden against Elmer Bennett and them from Dallas.
Right.
Yeah, man. It was countless, Len Bias' brother, Jay Bias, rest in peace. He played up in there. You know, I mean, listen, that Boston, and you know, Tiny Archibald was our coach, representing
Yes,
NY.
definitely.
Shout out to
Definitely.
Tiny. Yeah. So that was I mean, listen, we were just doing our thing. We was balling, man. You know, Tiny was just letting us just go.
Right.
Yeah, man. But my man KA, man, you know what I mean, listen, man, all you gotta do, man, is run with him. He gonna get you, he gonna find you.
Facts.
You know? Matter of
Facts.
fact, I think when we played in the Boston Garden, when we played Dallas against Elmer Bennett, I went backdoor, man. Kenny found me for like a little bounce pass. I had to go up in there with the bunnies, man. You know, get up on them rims real quick, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay, all right. So who would you say was the best player that you had to guard high school, college, and pro? Like,
well, I'll tell you what, man. You know, Philly. You know, I love my home at NYC, man. And you know, I mean, listen, I'm biased, and I just think that, you know, the 70s, 80s, and the 90s, I just think we own basketball, blue chip
fact.
basketball. I mean, you're hard pressed to find the amount of volume of talent that came out of the boroughs in New York in that era. You know?
Yeah.
You can't push back on that. You know. However, Philadelphia got crazy respect for the talent in Philadelphia. For my time playing,
Definitely.
you know, in the Sunny Hill League in Philadelphia, because
Yeah.
you know, most of the times I stayed back. So instead of coming back home during the summer, you know, I would take classes and stay in Philly and just stay local and play in the Sunny Hill League. And you know, the tradition in Philly is not to be played with. You know, I think you know the pedigree that comes out of this place, man, is legendary. You know, so I got a chance. And, you know, you got 6 Division I schools in Philadelphia. So we all played against each other, whether it was during the regular season or even pickup during the off season, you know. Philadelphia is very parochial, man. So everybody sticks together. You know, it's like a fraternity. And, you know, I'm happy that I was able to make it my second home, especially from a basketball standpoint, you know.
So who would be the best player you played against in high school?
I mean, I'm probably gonna get some cats upset, man, because you know, I mean, yo, the guys is rough, man. I mean, you know, you mentioned Kenny, like I told you, man. You know, pound for pound, you know, Kenny as far as who I played with and against, Kenny was an absolute problem. You know, I mean, my man Malik Silly was a legend. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. R.I.P. to Malik.
You know, I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention him. I mean, geez, man. Yo, G, we don't have enough time, fam.
All right, I only need to do one.
I'll tell you what. Here, I'll tell you what. From a college standpoint, this was like my intro to college basketball, I would say. So we're playing Villanova my freshman year.
Right.
And like I told you, you know, I started all 4 years. I'm playing against my OG, Gary Massey, Doug West, Kenny Wilson. But Doug West got drafted by the Timberwolves that year.
Doug West. Yes.
Yo, I had to chase his ass for 40 minutes in that game, man, around double and stagger screens and curls. He was an absolute problem. So
wow.
I would have to say when I go down memory lane and that welcome to college basketball moment, I would have to say guarding Doug West for 40 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Garfield Smith is in the building. What up, Garfield?
D. Smith, my guy. Got Alvin Rich in the building.
Alvin Rich, what up, Al Rich? My dude.
Ruckus finest.
For sure. Gotta get you up here too. Both of y'all up here, man. So I know that your daughters are playing basketball right now, right?
Yeah. So I got 3 kids. So my oldest daughter, she played at Binghamton in the American Conference.
No doubt.
So now she out near you.
Congratulations too, brother. Congratulations.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. So she played her 4 years at Binghamton. Now she's a grad assistant at St. Francis in Brooklyn.
Nice.
Yeah, she's doing good.
Nice.
my son plays for LaSalle in Philadelphia, and then I got a little girl. I got a little girl's a freshman, who's the last of the Thompson kids coming through, man. So it'll be interesting to see what she can do, man.
Oh man, that's awesome, brother. That's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Nah, I
We talk
appreciate
about
that.
having success as the basketball, and it seems like you're having a lot of success, brother.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like I told you when we started this interview early on, my dad set the foundation from day one, and it's a gift that goes beyond the bounce of a ball, right?
Right.
It's the reach, the breadth and the depth of the game, the relationships, the brotherhood, all the fellowshipping that we do over the years, and
Facts.
when I talk to my kids, when I introduced them to the game, it was more than just buckets, man. It was just about, if you love it, it's gonna love you back,
That's real, man. That's real, man.
Yeah.
Well, you've done a lot, man, and for New York City, for the game of basketball. I appreciate you. Get to hear your story, man. And to hear your story, I get to appreciate you a little bit more. I've always heard about you and seen you play, right? But now I get to see you as the grown man and hear about the things you've done to create the platform for the next generation of Thompsons to do their thing, man. So salute to you, brother.
Yeah, salute
That's
to you,
good,
family.
man.
Nah, I appreciate you, Pooh. Appreciate you, man. This was good, man.
Nah.
And
Right.
I'll be tuning in, man, because there's a long list of cats you can have on here, man. And that's the blessing of New York City basketball. The game.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I what kind of inspired me, besides my two best friends pushed me to do this, seeing Lamar Odom on Drink Champs. And I always say this, right? Because he's a fellow ball player. He was on a show, an entertainment show, and they kind of took advantage of the brother. And that kind of inspired me to start a show for us, right? A place and a platform to where we can give each other our flowers before they're gone. I'm Lee Green is gone. Mo Kirby is gone. Jonathan Duck is gone. A lot of these guys who we came up with and played with. So we want to try to reach out to you guys, let the world hear your story. Look, it's a lot that we have inside that we want to share with the world. It's good to get it off and pay homage to the guys who came up with you.
No question, man. I mean, listen, I love all my brothers, man, and we've been blessed, and like they say, man, wise man said it's better to love and the lost than to never have love, right? So,
Facts. Dave Edwards, look, number one.
So that we could say we loved it and we remember and we know what it feels
That's
like.
right.
We know what it feels like to give it, And you can go into any gym in New York City and you're gonna see a cat that you play with, against, whether it was on the playground, whether it was in the PSAL, the CHSAA.
That's right.
College, it don't matter, man. It don't matter.
That's right, man. So, man, I just want to say thank you, man. I appreciate you coming on. And when we get out of this little pandemic, all the guys that I interview, I'm going to invite into the studio, and we're going to have one big powwow, man. And
man.
Chop it up,
That'd
man.
be beautiful, man. I can't miss that. Nah,
for
man,
sure.
Man, that'd be great.
We're going to do that for real, man.
Nah, man. So listen, I'll hit you up with my math and the address and everything.
Definitely, and I'm gonna show you the painting that he's still working on. But as what we do is, those people who come on, if you just pass it on to somebody else and let them know, look, bro, you need to go tell your story on Basketball Heads, man. I appreciate that.
Listen, I got a long list for you, family.
Oh, for sure, and it come with some extra, some extra love.
Yeah.
You see that?
Oh, that's dope. Nah, that's dope. I remember that picture. That's dope.
Yeah. No doubt, man. You know what I'm saying? So try to show love, man, and give back. Man. I appreciate you, brother. All right?
Always.
You stay up, man. All right. Salute.